But I want to ask you guys this question real quick. One of the things I do know, one thing I did notice both of you guys, both Jani and Shinarah, and also Alfred, you guys said you guys wanted a partner that's going somewhere, that knows what he wants. He's going somewhere. He's doing something with their life. Can we all agree?
Yeah.
So what does that translate into tangible things in the world right now, reality? Does that translate into, do you want somebody that has a career and stable?
No. So it
Stability?
doesn't.
Stability?
No. So it's more of a mindset. Like, you know what? So before you even get to that part, right? You know, we're going to be physically attracted to someone, right? That's always going to be the first thing. You're always going to be physically attracted to someone. Obviously, in some instances, attraction can occur over time after having like really beautiful conversations with that person. Absolutely, you can form an attraction there. But normally, absolutely, you're going to be physically attracted to this person, right? And then from there, you're going to be asking those questions. Oh, what do you do? And those questions are really important if you're attracted, because from that point, asking someone what they do, you're going to understand if you're going to go any further, because you need to understand whether what they're doing, where their mindset is, where they're going is in alignment with your values and where you're going and what you want for your own life. So like in terms of like, I understood you had this last week, and it was like, what about someone who has all these core values but works at McDonald's? And I guess for someone, they would have already known that that person worked at McDonald's at the time they were attracted when they asked those questions, right? And again, it's different for everyone. So like when we say we want someone that's going somewhere, it's still different. It's such a broad range, because where we're going is going to be different from where you're going. So
what does that mean for you when you say you want something, you want a man that's going somewhere? What does that mean for you? What is, like, specifically?
I want to know, like, in terms of like my husband, I want to know that he's not, either what he's doing really elevates his soul. He's passionate about it. So he works in a factory. He's a forklift driver, and I'm fucking happy. I've always made more money than him. Finances have never been an issue for us. Okay. But I want to know that he's happy, that he's got goals, because like, you know, and that's one thing we're also working with is like, are you happy? Are you happy where you are? Do you know what you want to do? And a lot of the times, especially in our Islander community, we're so used to thinking that, let's just get a factory job and that's it. And it's like, nah, we don't need to be like that. We can dream big. What do you actually want to do? And yes, we're almost 30 in the next couple of years, but so fucking what? Do you actually want to do something else? You can start now. Because, you know, I especially with me and my husband, we've grown up together. He was 18 and I was 19 when we met. So we've only matured over the last couple of years. We've only started to become more conscious and aware of what we're actually able to do with ourselves. And now we're actually asking those questions. Okay, cool. So I don't want to live this lifestyle. I don't want to hustle. I don't want to work so hard for money. Okay, cool. So what do you actually want to do? Well, for me, it was like, I actually want to create a passive income, and I want to replace my income like that. And it's like, okay, so what do you want to do? And he doesn't know, and that's okay. It's like, okay, cool. Are you willing to go there for yourself, for us? Because for me, again, it's like, yes, you know, he was able to fuck with my intellect for a while. It's now, okay, cool. So we've hit a ceiling, because my intellect's still going. Are you coming with me or are you not? And it's okay to grow apart. But also for me, the way I am, I love this man. So it's like, you have the ability to come with, like, are you willing to grow with me, or are you happy to stay here? For me, my needs is that I can't stay.
But I do want to ask you this question. So if your husband decides that he doesn't want to improve, he just wants to stay where he's at.
Yeah, we've already.
No, I'm just saying hypothetical, because I'm just trying to use that as an example for everybody out there. So
it's not happening for me, and he knows that.
Okay, cool.
I've you know, because I think it's okay to stay. It absolutely is okay to stay, and it's absolutely okay to grow apart. It's just that you both have to be okay with your guys' decision, and for us, it's like we're working through it. But we're very understanding about what each other wants, and yeah.
And the reason why I'm so glad you brought that question. Like, if he's not willing to grow and do something with his life, it's gonna be really hard for you to stay with him. That's what you said, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's something that I want to share with all the guys out there, that for most women, I don't say all women, but for most women, they want a guy that has a purpose. They want a guy that has stability. They want a guy that's building something. You know, most women are attracted to guys that are doing something with their life. You know, and that's why for a lot of guys out there, like, that's what I say. That's why it's important to focus on it before you can focus on, you know, all, like, you know, try to focus on, like, try to be nice, or try to all these little things that what our women do. But just the first thing you should do, which I do believe is the most important thing, is stability, especially in today's reality. You know, in the world, we want a guy that can take care of you. Want a guy that can pay the bills. You want a guy that's going to give you security for yourself and for your family. And it doesn't matter how, let me be honest, it doesn't matter how nice you are as a guy. It doesn't matter, doesn't matter how nice you are as a guy, how kind of you as a guy. But if you're not building financial stability for yourself, you can be the kindest guy in the world. But if you're not doing anything with your life, how is the chance of you attracting women?
Yeah, not good at all.
All right. And that's one of the things I hear from a lot of, especially today's society, right? I do hear from in today's culture, oh, just be a nice guy and the way you're gonna get a girl. Nah, that's totally false.
Nice guys always end last.
Exactly. Nice guys finish last. So that's something I want to advise. No, be a nice guy, you know, but put more focus on building your purpose. Put more focus on providing financial stability, because you can be a nice guy, but like I said, it's you find one out of, you know, 100 women that's gonna give you a shot. But if you build a purpose, you build an empire, you build a career, a stability, out of those 100 women, you're gonna attract the majority of them.
That's more attractive in itself.
It's more attractive, exactly. So a lot of guys don't understand that. A lot of guys, I do hear, I mean, I'm nice, I'm kind, you know, I go to church every Sunday, I pray, and they struggle, and they don't do anything with their life. They're not improving, they're not growing, growing mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, right? They're just stagnant, and they don't know why. And I tell them no, because for women, one thing that's important for women to attract a male is they want a guy that's stable, that's gonna give them a security, and they want to know that their man is taking them somewhere.
I guess one thing I will say though on that, Will, is that I don't care if it's a male or female. You cannot do things for someone else. You cannot do it for the opposite sex.
Of course.
So one thing is, like, it's okay to want to do that, to be attractive for the opposite sex, but you actually have to want to do that for yourself. It's not even about the opposite sex. You actually need to, because it doesn't matter. Like, you know, I'm gonna use me and my husband for example. It doesn't matter if I'm going to expand. I'm going to fucking expand regardless, right?
Yeah.
And it's got to be the same for him too. And what I mean by we're okay with whatever happens in this next chapter of our lives is that you can only meet that other person as much as you're going to meet yourself. And it's like, it's not that I'm growing all the way up here and he's fucking staying up here. It's like, no, well, if he's fucking happy there, cool. I want someone that can meet me where I am. And it's like, he doesn't need to do shit for me. He really doesn't. He needs to do it for himself. He needs to want that for himself. And I think it goes like way past the family, the wife, and having those things together. It's like, nah, are you happy? You know what I mean? Like, that shit doesn't get asked enough. Like, we've been together for 9 years, and it took an instance for us to realize, like, are we happy? Are we really fucking happy? Like, I love you, but are we happy here? Yeah. And okay, cool. So what do we like, I love you, I'm happy with you, but how can we make this work where I don't feel so small, where we don't feel so, and you don't feel so intimidated, or like, you know, there's so many things, and it's like, we just have to do shit for ourselves, and the people that are going to be in our lives are going to meet us where we are.
Oh, great. Yeah.
You're a CEO, like, yeah.
No, I love what you said. Like, you know, of course, like everybody out there, especially the guys, like, don't do it for anybody else. Do it for yourself. You know, do it for yourself. And like I said, by doing it yourself, improving yourself, you're gonna attract the right person in your life. But yeah, because like you said, if you're doing it for other people, then it's never enough. Because sometimes you're gonna meet people, no matter what you do in life, it's never enough for them. So that's why it's important to do it for yourself, because if you do it for yourself in a healthy way, you're gonna feel enough. And when you feel enough, you feel secure, you feel confident, you'll be able to go out there and talk to that person. But that's why I believe that stability is important for men. Because like I told you guys before, like I told you about the statistics, right? Like 80% of divorces in America are initiated by women, and the number one reason why is because of finances. So that's why for a lot of guys out there, I always encourage them, the first thing you should do before anything else is work on your purpose and build your life and be the best man you can be and build a career, do something with your life. Because like I said, the numbers are there. However you want to feel about it, if you're watching this, the stats are there. 80% of all divorces are initiated by women, and you guys are upset that we don't provide enough we don't bring it enough into the relationship, especially financially. And I do meet a lot of guys that their women or their girlfriend will support them, and then I always tell them, look, if your lady is supporting you, I'm telling you, it's just a matter of time. If you're not growing, and this is something I always see, that she's gonna leave you.
Yeah, she about to leave that.
I'm telling you, if you're a guy right now, if you're watching this, if you're with a woman right now, and you're not, and she's making more money than you, and she's not providing for you, she's paying most of the bills, but you guys are in love, you guys are all in the happy-go-lucky phase right now. I'm telling you, because of the data, because of the experience, eventually there will be a point of time where she's gonna leave you. And then the reason why I bring that up, because it's opposite for us, right? Because for guys, it's perfectly okay for us to financially support a woman. We have no issues with that. Like if I meet a woman that I'm fully committed to long term, I don't really care about whether or not she has goals or whether she has a purpose or whether she wants to do anything. I'm very content that my wife can be at home and just take care of the children, and she doesn't have to pay for anything. I'll handle everything on my own. And I truly believe that there's a lot of guys that you have to understand that as men and women, we are different in how we attract, and we are different in how we see things, especially when it comes to financially, because men are very content with providing for their women for the rest of their life. But one thing I do notice is most women are not content for providing for their man for the rest of their life. So that's one advice I would say for every man out there: build your empire, build your purpose, be the best man you can be stable. Don't be in a relationship with the woman is making or paying most of the bills, because the data is there, the divorce rate. And I guarantee you, eventually, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years, like you said, they're gonna leave. But like I told you guys before, it just comes down to our nature, our biology, that men, our love language is protecting and providing. Like we want to provide and protect. That's why we don't have an issue with providing protective for a woman. But for women, like nurturing is caring is your love language. But so if you are doing the providing and protecting, naturally, inherently, you're gonna lose respect for your man, because that's his role. He's the one that's supposed to provide and protect. And if you're with a guy that doesn't provide and protect, you naturally over time you're gonna lose respect for him, because he's not doing what he's supposed to do in a relationship as a masculine man in a relationship. So that's my viewpoint on that. Jani, same question I want to ask you. What is it? Can you define what does that mean for you? What is going somewhere? What does that mean for you? Also, I want to ask you, does that stability and having a man that could be financially stable for you, how much does that matter to you when it comes to when finding a man?
Yeah, I really like this question, and it's interesting listening to you, because I know that you're for your own personal, I guess, goals and being in a relationship, it's really important for you that you are the main provider. And for me personally, like my own personal choice, I like to be able to contribute financially to my relationships. I like to be able to know that, yes, my man can hold me. Yes, he can provide for me and he can provide us that stability. But I also like that he is able to receive as well financially from me, and happy to receive and happy to have me alongside him, and us both build the empire together.
Okay.
And I think that's something really important, because there's so much emphasis on the male always having to be the breadwinner, the male always having to do all of this. And it not only puts a lot of pressure on the male, but it also for some people, it might make them feel like they can't contribute financially to the relationship. And so I think it's really important that for any males that are listening, it is okay. And I feel like it's not money. Money isn't the problem. It's the fact that people don't communicate about money that is the problem. Because
can you define? Can you explain that part with communicating that money? What you said, money communicating that money isn't the problem. That's what you said.
Yeah.
Money. What does that? What does that mean? What does that mean?
It's the fact that people think that their worth is determined by the amount of money that they can earn, or their worth is determined by the amount of money that someone else is willing to give them. But if you're thinking that your worth is only depicted by the amount that someone can give you, like, oh yeah, like my man can buy me these Gucci bags, he's bought me all of these things, he takes me out, he buys me food. But is he vulnerable with you though? Does he talk the talk? Does he actually tell you how he's feeling? Does he sit down and say, actually, this isn't working and this is how I feel about our relationship? We have so much emphasis on the money when there's so much more to a relationship than just the money. Yes, the money helps you to have a stable, secure relationship, but without communicating about what you want to do with the money, without communicating about where you're trying to go together as a partnership, then it's not going to work. And regardless of how much money the male or the female makes, if you're both communicating about it and you're both open and you're both on the same page about where you're going, regardless of who earns more than the other, then the relationship will still work. Like, that's what I honestly believe. It's got nothing to do with the amount and everything to do with the communication and the energy and the love that you're both willing to put in for one another.
Yeah, when I say building a purpose, building your life, and making money, I'm not saying he doesn't have to be a millionaire. You don't have to be a millionaire, right?
No.
What I'm saying is you have to handle your responsibility as a man to provide for your family. And the reason I'm putting
it has to be like everything, and that there has to be so much pressure on.
And that's where I push back, because in real life there are going to be bills. There are going to be things they have to take care of. So I do believe money is a priority, and having a stability is important in a relationship, because, like I bring it up again, 80% of divorces are initiated by women because they didn't feel like their man was financially stable, right?
Yeah.
And I do want to ask you, because you did say that you want a guy that's communicative, that's vulnerable, right? I want to ask you, there's two guys. One is very financially stable. He has subpar communication skills, subpar emotional awareness and vulnerability. But one guy has great communication skills, great vulnerability, but subpar when it comes to his financial stability. Which one do you go with?
Oh, 100% go with the person that's more vulnerable and able and willing to communicate.
But you have to worry about where you're gonna worry about where you're gonna stay. You're gonna worry about the rent. You're gonna worry about
lifestyle's a choice.
I think that's the thing, though.
Lifestyle's a choice.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, you guys, so you rather take the guy that you might not have a place to sleep tomorrow. You might not have
100%.
food to eat, but
Well,
Yeah.
Are you guys being honest right now?
Honestly, to be honest,
100%.
lifestyle, especially here in New Zealand, a lot of the women here are the breadwinners. Like, we do not give a that's where it's different here in New Zealand. You'll see women that are in government, like, and we come from cultures where women, like, they hold the household, and it's okay. We don't have this negative outlook in terms of men not having the greatest finances and it being like broken. So, but also what I do want to say on that is that why we are so passionate about communication and vulnerability is because we've had the opposite. We've already had the fucking opposite. We've got guys here that do not fucking communicate, that aren't vulnerable, that don't know how they feel, and have all the fucking money, and they're assholes. And why would I want that? You know, it's like, fuck the money. My happiness comes first. And the thing is like, lifestyle's a choice, and money can always be made. But characteristic traits have to be like, we have to decondition a lot of shit, and that's a lot harder to do than to make a lot more money.
But
So like
so
we
you
can
say
make money, we can make money together, but I would definitely go for the fucking other guy.
well,
Like, please give me your love.
no. So so I do want to ask you. So you're saying that majority of most women in New Zealand, especially Polynesian women, you're saying majority of them are breadwinners? Did they make
Yeah,
more money?
majority.
Majority? Like,
That's
you know the like more than 50%? Like, do you know the averages or no? The percentage?
Nah, I don't. But the ones in my life have
Mm.
always really been the breadwinners, especially, you know, my close knit family. And we've all been fine. My dad was never the breadwinner in my family, and we've always been fine. Like, it wasn't an issue.
Okay.
It wasn't until my dad was like 45 that he found a career that he loved. And my mum was happy to like support that.
Okay.
And so I've grown up from a family. That's why I get a little bit triggered, because I'm like, dude, like,
No, yeah,
like,
no.
and it's okay, like, it's so okay, but it's just like, it's not always a bad thing. It's like yes, absolutely. And it's just like, you know what, it's okay to have like these outlooks, but there are also some times where it does work, and it's not always just like this one fucking thing that but money.
I guess about what I guess we need to move to New Zealand now. We need to move to New Zealand. Because in America, we have a 50% divorce rate. 80% of women are divorcing their men because of finances, and so the women out here are a little different. They need their money. But I do want to, so I do want to ask you, Jani. So, Jani, you said that you want to contribute to the finances, right? You want to contribute to finances to make sure that you're giving you're contributing to the relationship. So for you, does it can you give me like a percentage? Like, is it 50-50, or are you content doing more than 50, like you the majority? What's a healthy balance for you as far as your partner to contribute financially? What's the healthy range for you?
I couldn't say that there's like a specific percentage.
I'm just saying
it's just the feeling of knowing that I can contribute to the relationship money wise.
Wait, so if you're the majority, if you're paying majority of bills, majority of more than 50%.
If I was paying majority of the bills with someone that I know that I really love, who makes me happy, who feels, you know, who is vulnerable, who communicates and does all the things, then 100%, like, it's not going to bother me at all. And if he does the same for me, then amazing, like, that's cool as well. So I can't say that there's a percentage, because in the future, like for me being a business owner, my money's going to be up and down all the time. So whether I'm making 200K a year or 20K a year, my man will still be by my side regardless of how much money I'm making or not making. And the same for him. If he's making 20K a year or 200K a year, the fact that we have this beautiful relationship together, that he can be vulnerable, that he can communicate with me, that he knows exactly where he's going. I think it's important to remember that where we are right now is always only temporary, and everything that we're doing is constantly helping us to evolve to the better version of ourselves and to a more beautiful relationship. So regardless of how much money there is, if the love is there, the vulnerability is there, the communication, and everything else, it's all good.
Okay. All right. So I do want to ask you one question. So if you pay majority of the bills and the guy's like, you know, I just want to rely on you. I don't want to improve. Shinarah has already made it clear that if he doesn't match her level, doesn't improve, she's out. But I want to ask you, if the guy was like, you know, say you start paying majority of the bills, and then the guy was like, you know what, you're paying majority of the bills. Well, you know, I love you, so can my love make up for the majority of the bills that I'm not paying? So would you be willing to support a man majority and pay majority of the bills for him for the rest of his life? Would you be able to do that?
Yeah, if he was still growing himself and
learning. He doesn't want to grow. He doesn't want to grow. He just wants. He's content.
No, hell no.
Okay.
You want to grow? Hell no.
So this is why I asked that question, because all the guys out there, you know, for us, for guys, because our love language is provided, protected. We are fine for providing for our women, regardless of what she does. Whether she wants to improve, great. You want to improve a build empire, help me build this empire, great. But if she doesn't want to build an empire, she just wants to chill, relax, that's fine. As long as I have my woman, I have a wife, she doesn't have to do anything else. And that's the difference between men and women. And I haven't heard a lot of guys, the woman would tell him, hey, I love you, appreciate you, I'll support you, I'll pay all the bills, don't worry, honey, I got your back. We win the die or ride, we ride or die together. We got this, and she's paying majority of the bills, and then 5 years later, she dips. So that's one thing I want to put that message out there. It's really, really important for guys to build your empire and work on your, be the best version of it. So you don't have to be a millionaire. I want to make sure clear. There's not a specific amount. Just make sure that you can handle your responsibility as a man on whoever woman you choose to be with. And that's one thing and if you do that, I'm telling you guys right now, you'll be able to attract more women, but not only attract a woman, you'll be able to be in a long-term relationship with women, because that's something I always hear from a lot of women is when it comes to financial security, that's one of their highest priorities. And for a lot of guys out there, they don't realize that. There's a lot of guys out there I know that they're nice, they're kind, but they're not doing anything with their life. They're lazy, they're not improving, they're not working on the career, but they think that being nice is gonna take them far, and being nice is gonna find not only a relationship, but also find a long-term relationship. So one thing I always advise for guys out there is, like I said, to be the best man version for yourself and figure out your purpose in life and build a career, build an empire. And then once you attract that woman, then you can start working on the communication skills. Then you can start working on the vulnerable. It's better to work on the communication skills inside a house when they're comfortable. It's hard. It's better to work on the things that you guys work on when you guys are stable. But it's really, really hard to work on those little things that you guys are nagging us about if it's unstable. Because when things are unstable financially, then that's when things really start to get worse. But if you guys have issues, because can we all agree every relationship have issues?
Absolutely.
Yeah. But is it easier to deal with your issues? Is it easier to deal with your issues being financially stable? Or is it easy to deal with those issues being broke?
To be honest, you know what? Financial stability is so different as well. Like, it's just, it's funny because just like the fucking topic is just so broad, and expectations are so freaking broad as well. And it's like understanding, like it's so funny because I'm like, that's cool, but like I've been okay living with my husband and his parents, and I've been okay having our own house. And it's like, you will do whatever you need to do for the person that you love.
Yeah.
It doesn't really fucking matter whether. I understand where you're coming from. I just think that there are still a lot of men who have the fucking houses, the cars, the money, and still don't know what the fuck they're doing because they spend all their time getting the things and not working on themselves. What, like, it's easy to get perishable things. It's easy. Like, if you want something enough, you're gonna go get it. If you want to be a millionaire, you can absolutely go and fucking be a millionaire. But like, to work on yourself, to that's harder. It's harder to say what the fuck you in a relationship. It's actually way harder. Like to go and work for someone, time for money. Cool. There's nothing like you're just going to work time for money, get that money. But in terms of like opening up to people, saying how you feel, being vulnerable in terms of rejection again, after all the rejection through growing up and shit, that's hard. Like, that should be worked on before the things.
I know.
Because how do you know yourself in that house?
Okay. No, I totally understand that, but it's just the thing is like the in America the data doesn't showcase. Like, the data shows that no matter how emotional you are, how communicative you are, if you don't make money, that women are leaving you here in America. That's what I'm saying. So that's the only thing I'm just gonna, like, for me, like, I understand that everybody's experience, but the thing is, like, in America, regardless of if you have good communication skills, the woman will leave you if you don't provide financial stability, and the numbers show it.